Good morning, folks. It's a morning. When was the last time we did this? I don't remember. I think I did have a day off at some point where I did a morning stream, but like my brain. Oh, welcome in everybody. Hello. Friday indeed. And we're here to have a little bit of some chill Legend of Zelda time. Do you know what's so great? I actually remember what I was doing the last time I streamed this game. Anyway, my little jokes aside, first things first, Bad at Buttons is still with the streak going strong. You made it this morning, and pat yourself on the back. You were the first viewer to redeem first, and you get to remain first. Hello, Petulant Cobra. And also, hello, what up, Willis? I wasn't skipping you. I just got distracted because of the moving emote. So silly. What up, Willis? Thank you for redeeming third. We also have some other redemptions. Specifically, Willis, thank you for redeeming Word of the Stream. Friday, because it is a Friday, and yet I am here streaming. So, Atish Thermalich is going to have to be erased. I am so happy that I was sent a pronunciation guide for that, because otherwise there was no shot. And we are going to add the Friday. This is super cool. It's been a while. It has been a while, but we are getting a morning stream here on this channel. Hello, Captain Mangles. I am doing fantastic. How are you doing today? That question kind of goes for everyone, but it was specifically directed to Captain Mangles. So we have our Friday going on here. We also have Willis, thank you for redeeming Hydrate for 69 channel points. Nice. Do I need a pronunciation guide for today's word? I'm just gonna go with this safe answer of yes. My mug kind of matches my word of the stream because they are both expressing joy. I didn't do that on purpose because I didn't know what the word of the stream was going to be. Anyway, welcome in all of you wonderful folks. This is a bit of an unusual stream for me. Okay, that is still working. A bit of an unusual time for me. Typically, I stream Wednesday evenings at 7 p.m. Eastern time, and I only stream once a week. Typically. Both of these things are typical. And we have thrown them both out the window this week. I do have some flex time occasionally at my job. That means I work overtime hours on certain days and I get time off therefore on other days to kind of ebb and flow with the actual needs of the business. And so as a result of that mess, that disaster, I have today off, which is awesome because it means I could try to make some more progress. I have been playing Legend of Zelda since my first 2023 stream, so January of 2023. I started a playthrough of every Legend of Zelda game that I own. I do not own every Legend of Zelda game. That is important, which is why it is that I own. I think I'm missing 2 of the mainline games. At this point, I don't have access to... I remember Spirit Tracks is one of them. I'm trying. I might remember the other one at some point, but I don't own that game as an example. And so I'm not going to be playing it unless it somehow gets loaded onto some Nintendo Switch Online thing in between now and... Yeah, I'm not even counting those as games, but thank you, Petulant Cobra. I don't own the Wand of Gamelon. Thank you for that reminder that I don't own it. What was it when that first got mentioned, whether or not I was going to do the CDI Zelda games as part of this playthrough? K Menzel was like, for $2,000 you could, and I was like, no, I don't want it. You are helping. You're great. Fry is in French fry. Yay is in yay. Bada buttons. That's the world's best pronunciation guide for this word. Just in case you guys didn't know how to say fry. Yay. That's amazing. So anyway, slightly unusually, I'm streaming this morning. It's been a while. People who have been here for like more than a year which is almost a year, incidentally. People who have been here for more than a year might recall that I used to do morning streams fairly regularly. It's extremely nostalgic for that part of the community, but also totally valid. And maybe for like all of them that are going to be here today, because a lot of people who are free in the evenings don't typically tend to be free randomly in the mornings as well to just throw on Twitch. But like, hey, man, I'm just happy. I'm just happy that you're here, specifically you. And yes, I'm speaking to you. That was creepy. I remember those days like they're today. That's an exaggeration. I will also be changing next week's stream time, so I'm just notifying you guys of that as well as part of my due diligence. Because next Wednesday is Valentine's Day, I decided I was not going to stream at my usual time on the Wednesday, so I have moved that stream to this upcoming Monday morning at 9:30 a.m., which, like, maybe I'll even remember what I was doing today for that. So 9:30 a.m. Eastern time on Monday is going to be my weekly stream for next week. And then unfortunately there's going to be a bit of a dry spell, which is why we have this extra stream today. So probably I won't be streaming again till the Wednesday after that, which is like, I don't know, the 22nd or something like that. I'm not looking at a calendar. I don't know time. Time is weird. It's a weird soup. Moved the day of Wednesday to Monday. Got it. Exactly. So next week, the order of days, just so that you guys are all on the same page properly for this, is going to be Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday, Thursday, Friday. Okay? Okay, so make sure to have your Monday blues available for the middle day of the work week. Morning. I am well. I hope you are also doing well, Enlightened. Cobra, I'm glad you're confused. So is everyone else. So here we are in Majora's Mask. As I said, I started my playthrough last January, and my goal, I'm somewhat of a casual gamer. I just like playing games, but I also like 100% in games when I can. And so I 100% the original Legend of Zelda. Then I 100% Zelda 2 because for some reason I decided to do that. Your childhood. I know. The N64. Look at this. Look at this. I am playing on the Nintendo Switch Online of the console, but I do have an adapter so that I can use an actual N64 controller for it, which does mean occasionally I struggle with lag, and sometimes that's the controller via adapter into console input delay, and sometimes that's because the NSO just is laggy, and so sometimes we have to get really mad at things, but that's okay, because, you know, it's fine. The Casual Completionist, exactly. That's a YouTube channel name if I've ever heard one. I mean, I think the completionist might still have some opinions on that. It does seem a bit needlessly complicated to make Monday Wednesday, but meh. Yeah, you know what? Let's just roll with it. It's fine. The Casual Completionist is a very good YouTube channel name, and I'm a little bit mad at Casual Gerard. You know what, Enlightened? I also really enjoy Mario games. I enjoy the platformers. I don't tend to play them on stream because they're less adventure-y, but I started streaming when I started a few years ago. I started streaming the Paper Mario series, and I played through and 100% complete all of those games as kind of my start, and that was a whole lot of fun, and I love it, and I would just do it again, but like I just did that. So now I'm doing Legend of Zelda. I just like Nintendo. I can't help it. I am one of those. So we're trying, and we like did Zelda 2 despite you know, I clearly just don't have respect for myself, which is why I 100% Zelda 2. And then I played Link's Awakening. Sorry, no, Link to the Past, and then Link's Awakening, which I actually played twice because I didn't know until I had completed the game that there were photographs that I couldn't get except at specific times. And so I was locked out of completing the photo album. And like, that's not required for the game at all. And I still was mad about that. So I did like 2 Blitz streams where I just restarted the game and played it all again and like got all of the pictures. hours, and that was ridiculous. It was so much work to like do a full 100% of that after having already played it. That's why it felt like we played it twice, because we did. And now I've finally, after doing Ocarina of Time, which I did cow percent of Ocarina of Time. I just want to brag about that. I did the cow percent. I had a cow in my house, and that is super not required for any element of 100%. Now we're at Majora's Mask, and we're struggling a bit more with Majora's Mask because although the game itself, I have been finding a lot of fun, and like the flow of the story is great, the things you have to do to get some of the heart pieces in this game are like the hardest things I've ever had to do. And that annoys me a little bit, and I have a feeling there's more coming up because now we can swim, and I'm not very good at swimming, but I bet there are some things that I have to do with swimming in order to get, like, I'm not very good at shooting either. I did the like in-town shooting gallery, and I did the Honey and Darling mini games, and I survived those, and it wasn't bad because the issue isn't my aim. The issue is the precision of the control stick and like subtle movement while going through a ported thing. So the swamp shooting gallery has been a bit out of my league for now. I am planning to try it again at some point, and when I try it again, I will actually connect a controller directly and use like one of the Switch controllers to see if that helps, because I don't need C buttons to shoot a bow and arrow within a game. Anyway, we're here. We are a Zora, and we're just kind of going around Music Hall right now. We did save all of the baby Zoras. Good morning, Plum. Or good afternoon, Plum. Hello, Plum. How are you today? So we saved all the baby Zoras, and we're like night of the second day, I think. Yeah, we're like night of the second day, and so I'm just trying to figure out what else I could do that like I don't want to have to save the eggs again, is basically what it is. And I think we're pretty much done with all of the required stuff for that, but I am probably going to have to reset at least once. So I'm going to try to finish exploring Music Hall and seeing what there is to see here. And then I know that there's some areas that like now that I'm a Zora, I can do more with. So there's like a whole area with a waterfall that I haven't really explored because I didn't have a hook shot to get up the trees. There's also a whole area near the pirate fortress that I think I saw a hookshot point for. There's a couple of areas where there's like scarecrow song stuff, and so I'm gonna have to go talk to the scarecrow. Like, there's just so much administration. And I think I remember blowing up a rock and falling into a hole and it was all water, and so I left. But if I can find that rock again, there might be something in there. So those are the things that are immediately on my mind. Exhausted. You walked almost 6 miles. That's amazing. Oh, those photos are probably lovely though. What a great question, Plum. This is my morning. That's how my morning is. My morning's going great, actually. So when I used to stream in the mornings, that was because I didn't have a job, and so I didn't have any requirements on my day, which meant I used to get up at like 7:30-ish. And like when K Menzel started work, I would try to do breakfast, whatever. But it always felt like I was rushing through my like morning routine in like an hour to try to get to be on time to stream. And now, because we're both employed and like we have commutes and whatever like that, I usually get up at 6. And boy, howdy, do I have just so much time to get ready for stream. It's great. Yes, aside from the exhaustion, it does sound wonderful. But like walking 6 miles, you kind of have a right to exhaustion. Just make sure you rehydrate. Okay? Get your hydration points, because 6 miles is a lot and you need to drink water. And or, I don't know, maybe something else, but something healthy. So yeah, my morning's going fabulously. I feel like I've had a lot of time. And now I'm going to talk to this guy. His name's Evan, and apparently he's the keyboard player. I don't know what anyone's gonna say. Right, one last thing. I do have a walkthrough open. Not that I necessarily read it, but for completionism, especially in Majora's Mask, it's just way less frustrating to be keeping tabs on a walkthrough. And so typically I will check when I get to like a new section of the game. So like I have a new song now. I've saved the babies. Is there anything that I can do having saved the babies? Just like look at the category names and see if there's anything that I can do. And so in this instance, there doesn't seem to be a whole lot after getting the Zora mask that like requires also that the eggs be saved. And I'm very glad that I checked my walkthrough before stream this morning, because there is something that I was going to do that I should not do. I do not have a job. Get up around 9, stream in afternoon. Morning routine is sacred. Yes, that's fully valid, Buttons. I mean, streaming is your job. You're allowed to call that a job. Ooh. Yeah, just walk today, relax everything else. Absolutely. I'm in favor of routines personally myself. I just forgot. Right, that was it. So a thing that I know that I can probably do now that I have the hook shot is there's a spider house on the beach. And so whenever I finished like going around the Great Hall, I was going to go to the spider house. And I have learned from my walkthrough, and I'm so glad I checked, that I need to not do that. And the reason I need to not do that is on the N64 version of this game, you can only get the ultimate reward for doing the beach spider house if you complete it sometime during the first day night of the 3-day cycle. On the 3DS version, you can get that reward as long as you complete it within the span of 1 day night of the day night cycle. But on N64, you have to do it first thing. And so I'm really glad I looked that up, because that was what I was going to do next, because it was something I was actually looking forward to. Even though I hate the spiders themselves, because spiders terrify me and the Skulltula are just utterly for me. I do enjoy the like hunting around looking for them that we did in the other spider house that we found in the swamp. I think it was the swamp spider house. And so I'm glad that I checked that, because I saw the flagged warning that said, do not do this if you were not right at the beginning of the cycle. And so I'm not going to do this. I'm going to look around and look at some other things with a little bit of the rest of the time that I have to see if there's anything else that I can do. But then I am going to reset the cycle and do the spider house. That might not be today. It depends on how long it takes. That might be Monday morning. We file taxes as a hobby. Yes. So, what does Evan have to say? Because I haven't... Sorry. Okay. Whoa! That's a face. That is a face. That is not the face that I expected on this Zora. Do most Zora not have noses? I have a nose, but I'm a weird Zora hybrid. Macau, how was it? Did you get the eggs back? Why would I show him that? I did get the eggs back. That's a sight for Zora eyes. I did get the eggs back. I just put them in the tank and hatched them into babies. Yeah, like... this dialogue is very annoying to me. He does have a nose, it's just his whole face. Are his nostrils here, bad at Buttons? Oh, cool. I apparently have the blood... Whoa, no, hold on. Sorry, I should have been reading this dialogue for these interjections to make sense. This guy just said the only one of the Zora who could go toe-to-toe with the pirates would be Macau, who still has the blood of the Zoran heroes in his veins. But Macau did try going toe-to-toe with the pirates and died. That's why I'm him. So you're just wrong, Evan. You should have called outside assistance. And then maybe this guy wouldn't be dead. And also then maybe I wouldn't be able to be a Zora and couldn't complete the game. So maybe it's okay. Your short-sightedness has served me, but it has not served the guy you're talking to. I'm so frustrated. You don't seem like a very nice man. That's what I'll say. Wow, no wonder Lulu's depressed. She can't even grieve properly because you're not telling anybody that she's lost her eggs. Anyway, I already fixed her, and there's a giant turtle waiting for me outside as a result because I told her before I told you. You don't seem important to me. She did. It's not canceled, and Lulu can sing, and I don't like you. Okay, we're gonna leave. I don't like him very much. In case you missed me saying that I don't like him very much. Repeatedly. In his defense, he doesn't know you're dead. I mean, that seems like... I don't... Wow, no. Most Zoras do have a nose. It's literally just him. I guess that's a defense, but it's not a defense that makes me happy, Willis. Evan, your band leader is looking for you. I just spoke with Evan. Hello, you wonderful percussionist, you. Aren't you delightful? I told you guys, didn't I? That, like, the drummer would work really well if he were a little bit more buff. I mean, he's no King Zora from Ocarina of Time, but he ain't bad. The concert in town is coming up, but it seems like all the band members are in a funk. I bet you didn't know that, huh? Especially Lulu. I haven't heard her voice in a long time. She's usually in good spirits, too. Ooh, I wonder if this is all related to the ocean turning weird. Actually, I know a little bit of Lulu's secret. Do you want to hear it? Yes. There's a rumor that the ocean is getting weird because there's trouble offshore at Great Bay Temple, and they say when that happens, something bad will befall the Zora descendant who's been protecting the temple. Do you catch my drift? Oh, so he thinks that Lulu is the descendant. And if I agree with him, then I can think that the stealing of her eggs was because of this, like, prophetic thing, and I need to go fix Great Bay Temple. Yeah, you know what? I'm glad for that. Huh. Well, that looks like an invitation to go up there to me. Boop. Why is everyone decorating with fish bones? Can you read Zoran? Okay, fine. You don't have to be so salty with me, game. No, I can't read Zoran. Oh, it's my diary. Chat, I kept a diary. Oh, if we read it and learn my secrets, are we gonna learn if, like, I'm the father of the eggs? Because I think I might be the father. I mean, maybe Evan's the father, and, like, he just sent me because he thought I would succeed and he's a coward. Maybe we'll learn. Do you not decorate with the bones of your ancestors? You know what, Bad at Buttons? That's a fair question. I decorate with bones sometimes. Dry ones. So I guess I shouldn't talk. Today, Jappus and I had a jam session. He's not good with words, but he writes great riffs. That's cool. Good morning, Settled on Beavis. How is your Friday going? I hope it's going well. I certainly hope it's better than having to work a 10-hour day and deal with, like, people. These bones are underwater, so they're definitely not dry, which means you can feel free to judge. Ooh! We have a streak going on in chat. Settled on Beavis, a whole 7-stream streak. You have today off. That's delightful. Me too. That's why I'm here. 60 degrees seems lovely. I checked. So when I was getting dressed this morning, I checked the weather. And it's like 4 degrees Celsius right now. But it's supposed to go up to 11 today. Celsius. Again. Celsius. And that's just so warm for winter. So I put on my regular leggings instead of my winter leggings. 15 Celsius. That's nice. I wouldn't even need a coat in that weather. I might not need a coat in this weather if I put on a thick enough sweater. That just sounds delightful. What a nice break from winter weather. Here's what I played. Oh, I see. Evan was in a bad mood. Oh my goodness, these are different. So I'm writing riffs and Evan is mad at me for writing riffs. Do it! Disc golf is so much fun, Beavis. It was lovely to see you briefly. But please, finish your breakfast. Throw on your hoodie. Get some disc golfing in. My lucky color this week is green. Well, I'm green. So that was the first one.
Kmenzel just resubscribed for 32 months.
Kmenzel. What was the second one? Okay. So I've learned some things. I don't know who Tapas is, though. Maybe I should talk to him. But first, Kim Menzel, hello, good morning. I hope you're doing well. 32 months is a very long subscription streak. Thank you for that resub. I wonder... 32... Nope, I can still do it. We don't have a character limit problem, apparently. Kenneth Mordecai Enzel, good morning. That's my favorite. Well, I can punch things. What is this guy's name? Abby, can you tell me this guy's name? Oh, he broke the ladder. Well, that's fine. That K. Menzel guy seems pretty nice. Very committed. You should hang on to him. I'll take that suggestion into consideration. That is a very unfortunate notification for your morning, K. Menzel. Oh, hello, Queen Bree. Good morning. Hello, hi. How are you doing, your lovely self? It is wonderful to see you today. Okay, it is really creepy to me that these guys just like appear in place as I'm exiting the room. I guess it's because they won't let you in unless you're in Zora mask form, and so they need to be there to block you. Okay. Oh, Jappus. Yeah, you know what? I had a jam session with him. My diary said so. Link is taller, very fish-like in appearance, and currently I'm just super incensed at the Zora band leader because, like, this dude is rude. He's not letting his bandmates write songs. I came to see him, and he told me that I needed to go be a hero and rescue the eggs, which I have already rescued, and I therefore can't prove to him that I rescued them because I already rescued them and turned them into babies and then learned a song from them. And so, like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do to make this guy happy, but also he was like, you're the only one who can succeed. And I know this, but he doesn't know this. I died trying to succeed, and that's why I'm here right now. I understand that's confusing. If you know anything about Majora's Mask, it's less confusing. But I said that as confusing as possible. So what we are is mad at Evan. That's the summary. Have they just tried banging randomly on their keyboard for a while? Should be complex enough. Very difficult to guess. I will say that. Genuinely. I hope you have a lovely day, Plumberry Muffin, and it was wonderful to see you drop in. Thank you for stopping by. I'm not supposed to just ask Link why he looks like a fish now. If I played the song at Evan, I could play the song at Evan. That might work. The C buttons didn't specify. Oh my gosh. Hold up. Look at this guy's hair. Finn. Things. His hair is perfect. He's the most emo, like, oh man. Fantastic, my dude. Fantastic. I can't speak to him though. Okay, now I'm far enough away that I can speak to him apparently. Where you been? I'm all like, hey, where's Macau? The concert's coming up soon. Now our band leaders pulled a vanishing act. Evan's all holed up in his room just writing songs. And to top it all off, Lulu just stands out back staring at the sea. She doesn't even respond when you talk to her. If you guys think it's just because Lulu's not interested in me, I'd understand, but I'm telling you, it looks like something's really wrong. This characterization is perfect. 10 out of 10. Yes. Is there something you're trying to hide from me? I'm not running an inquiry or anything, but look, if we don't start rehearsing real soon, we're not going to be ready. Okay, let's rehearse. Let's see if I remember those things that I literally just read in the diary and have already forgotten. Let's guess. Hold on. I did not hear any of that. I'm wondering if it's a right-left thing again. Oh, no. That's not what I'm supposed to do. The melody's bogus. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna need to talk to him again because I thought he was asking me if I wanted to retry and he was asking me if I wanted to stop. I have to leave the room. That's annoying. Okay. Let me back in. Thanks. My gosh, there's so much pressure and I'm just not reading. Okay, hi. Sure. Yes, I would like to have a jam session. So try following does not mean playing it. He's already played it, so I have to play something else. Okay, so that was the first thing in my diary. Okay, this is a new one. The second one in my diary. It wasn't an A button. It was... Is it the down button? Oh. Okay, cool. I successfully remembered these. Hello, the oncoming storm. Lovely to see you. Are you sure you don't want to not keep going, Beavis? That is what that felt like to me. Through the fire and the flames, go! Are we taking requests? I don't know. We might be. Do you know Bohemian Rhapsody? Like, play Freebird? This is fantastic. So we have a jam session. Okay. Everyone seems to like it, but to me that seems super mid. Play those bones. Lady Q in the morning. Hi, Garlic Rope. Even Evan should like this, but he's so proud he'd resent the fact that we wrote something on our own. I don't think he'd even let the others try it out. What do you think we should do? Ignores it and leaves it up to me. Okay. Cool. Maybe I've done this in the wrong order. So, okay. So I wanted to talk to Evan to try playing the song, and now... Goodness. Band leader seems like kind of a diva. Yes. Band leader does seem like kind of a diva. So the guy at the first store told me that Evan wanted to talk to me, and the guy at this store has told me to stop worrying the band leader. I mean, that's not the same as not bothering, but like, I'm literally right here, dude. Just let me, just this. Am I supposed to like any of the Zora characters other than actually Japis was pretty cool. And Lulu seems nice. You know, like it's not her fault that all of her eggs got stolen, but I did get them back. And I gave her back her voice, so that was good. And like the drummer guy seems pretty cool. Maybe we can kick Evan out of the band. I think they all are, aren't they? Like the bass player was playing LoZ, but like is this something else? That's very cute. Okay, so hold on. If he asks me if I got the eggs... Wait. The song... nope. Okay, I can't play Ocarina for him. That's the end victory music after beating Ganon. Amazing. So I could play him the New Wave Bossa Nova, just like out of nowhere. This is what I learned from the baby Zora, which are easily the cutest things that I have ever seen in this game. They are so adorable. Link as a Deku Scrub is also pretty adorable, but like the baby Zora were super, super cute. And they taught me this song, which is cool. They're very musical babies. Just need to inform them that the company needs restructuring and there's no longer a position available for Evan. Yes. We wish you the best, Evan. Pack your fish bones and get out. Exactly. So, okay. So if I play him... Nope. Look at their parentage. If they weren't musical prodigies, they would be disappointments. That's fair. He had no reaction to that. Okay, so he's just ignoring my New Wave Bossa Nova. So chat, I have a bunch of information rattling around in my brain and I'm trying really hard not to forget the notes that I played in the jam session, and I think I'm going to forget the notes that I played in the jam session. However, I'm reminded of a couple of things. So, Evan is a diva and doesn't like it when other people write songs. And Japis thinks he wrote a pretty good song with Macau. Oh, that would be smart. Give me a moment. Buttons, that's very smart. Hold on. I literally have a pen and paper right here, and I was not. So his stuff was really simple. His stuff was like... Oh, I remember the first one. Because the first one he started with 2 rights on the C button and then went down, and then there were 2 A's because his A went into my A on my A. That one. Oh, how do I write this down in a way that I remember it? Okay, so I remember the first one. Willis, thank you very much for redeeming Hydrate for 69 channel points. Nice. Paper pen, who uses such things? I should probably pause the actual progression of time in the game while I do this. And Willis, thank you also for redeeming Dehydrates. I still have weird football chips, but, you know, it's fine. Has a what in your what? Sus. So Evan's a diva. Jabish thinks we wrote good songs. I don't remember the second song we wrote. I sort of remember the second song I wrote. Because the first song started with 2 right buttons, and I think the second song started with 2 left buttons. And there was no A in the second song. These are things that I remember because I remember very weird things. Was it right down or was it down right? Because I didn't play his part. What I played was down. Is this one a palindrome? No, they're not fully palindromes ever. But they looked really similar. Okay, that's my guess. If I'm wrong, I'll go back and have another jam session and see if I can... Nope. I'll see if I can, like, remember it better. I'll write it down next time. It'll be fine. So, I've been told that Evan's a diva. I've been told that he doesn't like it when other band members write songs. And I've been told by Jappus that he thinks we wrote a good song. And I was told by the Gossip Stone just outside that it's weird that I can't remember what I was doing last week, but I can remember Gossip Stone stuff for like months, because I swear it was like 3 weeks ago that I talked to a Gossip Stone outside and he told me to play something. He might have used Evan's name is the thing. Like the Gossip Stone told me about somebody that I hadn't met, which was super weird. And I think it was Evan. And I was like, who's Evan? So the Gossip Stone told me that he might respond better if I... What was the wording? So it made me think that, like, normally when I'm in an area that has a transformation mask, I want to use that transformation mask in order to play things. We learned that at Snowhead, I had to be a Goron on the drums to actually have the lullaby put the big Goron to sleep. It doesn't work if I play it on the ocarina no matter what. But the Gossip Stone said something that made me think, oh, that's interesting. They're telling me to break that mold and I need to play a Zora song on Not the Zora. The Gossip Stones are basically Time Lords in rock form. Yay! Thank you very much for the bit, Scarlet Grove. Lady T, confirmed. I do like me some tea. And so I'm trying to determine if I'm supposed to play the New Wave Bossa Nova for him as not a Zora, or if I'm supposed to play these weird ramblings from the jam session as not a Zora. Be not a band member so he's not jealous. Right, and that like super checks out. Hold on. We're gonna do something wrong, and so I'm gonna give myself an opportunity to reset. So the first one was... That was a very long note. Do I just play them together? Oh, sweet! I remembered! And he still doesn't have a nose. It works! It works! It works! It's alive! That was actually really difficult because that's a lot more notes that I usually need to remember, and there was some duplication but not ever quite a palindrome. Some kind of eel-based Zora. He does look a little bit more eel-y than the other ones. I'm sorry, he's playing music. I should be respectful and listen, but it's music that I wrote, so I refuse to be respectful. Not bad, not bad. That's a pretty good song I just made up. Yeah, I definitely made that up. You didn't help at all. You've got a good sense of melody. We'll play my new song at our next show. I got a piece of heart for that. You're not thinking I'm stealing your song, do you? I mean, now I'm thinking it. My goodness, I don't like this guy. I didn't like him before. I don't like him better now. We should kick him out of the band. Everybody in this place is lacking in clothes except for Link Zora, and no one seems to find that odd. But whatever. So, okay, so that was probably... I really hope he's not secretly the father either. I really hope Mikau is secretly the father, because that would be sweet. He's got real trumpet player energy. He doesn't have lips, Beavis. He can't have trumpet player abilities, but I guess he could have trumpet player energy. I do like Link's modesty. Link is very polite in all forms. Okay. So that was a lot of stuff that... Please stop creeping on her dressing room, you creep. Creeping creep. Okay. I can't tell if I'm missing things here or what. It's almost morning. Which is entirely fair. Do not touch the light. Oh! Oops. Hold on. We're gonna try being better at swimming than that. Ugh. Okay. I am a struggling swimmer. Please just die. Everyone and everything. This way is the beach, I think. Ugh, the moon is so big! Dolphin! Okay. Oh good, my horse is fine now. Chicken of the sea. Zinu! Hello! I am very impressed that you are here this early. You're definitely awake. Underwater rooster chicken of the sea. Amazing. Okay. So I can't do the spider house. Whoop. I'm not doing that ridiculous thing. There's definitely something I have to do here with all of these pots. I don't know what it is. This was the gossip stone that told me secrets that I have just used. Right. What is with the angry? Why is there so much anger? So this is an area that I haven't really explored because I did not have the hook shot. Nice. That's entirely fair. This is not normally a part of my morning routine either. It's very much a break in pattern. Nope. Continue, please. Okay. So what we doing? My horse is upset. That's a Deku flower. That is a chest. This chest is probably money. Let's do it. Ah, rude. Ah, speaking of rude. Hate those things. Okay, so that is not the way to get that chest. I have to get it from the Deku flower side of things. So how do I get to the Deku flower side of things? Is there a tree on this one? There is a tree on this one. Scarecrow point? Okay. To what purpose? Should I? Should I? Willis, thank you very much for redeeming stretch. Ooh, I felt my bone crack and all I did was sit up. I probably did need a stretch. Ooh, shoulders. I've been doing a project at work that means I'm using my like arms a lot, and it is quite something. The mic heard my shoulder crack. Yeah. Oh. Chest. Money. So then if I go this way, I'm supposed to be going up towards... If I just jump off of this, will I hit that? I don't know. Ooh, okay. Never mind. I'm very glad that I was on the leaf. I was not expecting the leaf to be able to support my weight. What's in this? Money! Yay! I cannot hook shot at that distance. And I can't hook shot at that angle. So I will have to restart. It is still weird to me. Hey, I was pressing the roll button. I guess my timing was a little off. Which can definitely happen. Whoops. Well, I'm trying. Let's see what's in these. Just stop. Why is it so weird? Thanks for the magic. Thanks for the hearts. This is the thing that tells me there's like beavers on top of the waterfall. Yeah, that's fine. Can I see the tree from this side? Nope. I have to run all the way back. Love that. Not quite. We stand near the gossip stone. I was gonna say we have a minor seizure, but that was just the moon. I forgot about the day 3 moon problem. Okay, we're gonna do this again. And this time we're gonna keep climbing. What? Thank you. At least I think we're gonna keep climbing. What? Can I not get to that? Why is there a like down there? Oh, I hate it. Interesting. So... Aha! There you are. Right. There is a cave. Alright. That's pretty cool. I like that. Which link transformation is my favorite? Willis, thank you for redeeming Ask Me Anything. Functionality and appearance, and if I could make one, what would it be? That's interesting. So I am fairly certain that I can defend my position, especially when it comes to functionality. Let's restart my sentence. Forget everything I just said. So especially when you are considering functionality, there is a very real aspect that the functionality is dependent on what the game has asked you to do. And so in that way, all three of the masks are equally functional. However, I think I can defend from a perspective of my personal favorite an opinion that the Deku mask is my favorite. One, the Deku scrub that you turn into is adorable. Hands down, would buy a plushie. Therefore, appearance-wise, absolutely. I will always fall for cute. And so, Deku scrub, 10 out of 10 appearance. In terms of functionality, the Deku mask is also the one that I have used the most because I like its skill set outside of what it does for story progression. So, for example, I love the spin. The fact that it's an attack, that I can spam it, that it helps me move faster when I do, all of those things make me really like that mask. Whereas as a Goron, for example, which, like, totally understandable that it's your favorite, Beavis. As a Goron, your, like, roll thing at a certain point is costing you magic, depending on, like, how you've done it and where, and, like, I don't know, the control stick blah, 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 doesn't really work for me because I am not skilled in the things I would need to be skilled in to use that mask for its peak efficiency outside of the times when the game needs me to use it for, like, progress reasons. So for me, the skill set that goes with the Deku mask really, really works. And I think that it's fun. Like, I think it's fun to use. So I would say Deku mask is the one that's the cutest. It's also the one that I use the most and has the most useful functionality for my play style. First playthrough legit, second one with a Game Shark giving me infinite magic. That would help. That would make the Goron mask more interesting. And the Deku mask also very kindly only makes you see the dead tree. It doesn't require that you actually interact with the corpse of death that you have stolen the persona of. Anyway, and so that is, I think, a really interesting question. If I could make one, what would it be? Is also an interesting question because now I have to think about one that doesn't already exist. In a sense, like, Deku are characters in this, Gorons are characters in this, Zora are characters in this. They were also characters in Ocarina of Time. What other races? I think if I had to make one for a transformation mask, what you would get is something really similar to some of the non-transformation masks. A Rito mask, that's fair. Non-transformation masks like this one, or even potentially like this one. I think if the fairy mask was a transformation mask, that would be really interesting, but I think it would duplicate a lot of the skills that you can get with the Deku mask plus a flower. And so I'm not, like, super requiring that, but what I think would be most interesting is, like, the captain's hat. When I wear it, it means that skeletons don't aggro on me, they talk to me instead because I'm one of them. And I think it actually would be very interesting to do an enemy transformation mask rather than a friendly transformation mask. So, like, that would turn me into a skeleton and I would have to infiltrate something, kind of like the Goomba mask in Mario Maker 2 when you, like, wear the Goomba mask and none of the enemies attack you. Something like that, but especially if you combined it with a risk, because each of the transformation masks has risks, right? If you are wearing the Zora mask, Skelly Q, if you're wearing the Zora mask and you get hit with ice, you just automatically die. If you're wearing the Deku mask, you get hit with fire, you just automatically die. Like, there's void outs for those masks. And so the void out for, like, the skeleton mask would be getting spotted by an NPC or something like that. Like, you can't be seen. I also think it would be really interesting to have, like, a Poe transformation mask that instead of turning you into a ghost, just made you fully invisible. That would be super interesting as well. So, like, they aren't things that I would say would serve this game particularly, but I would be interested to see a game designed around mechanics like that for transformation masks. Korok mask. Yeah, that's fair. I think the Deku mask is sort of that for me. Yes, like the Goomba-headed Origami King, or in Mario Maker 2, or in like whatever. Or Sunlight Toasts Me. Yep, that would be great. You can only wear the Poe mask or the Skelly Boy mask at night or something like that. All very interesting thoughts. Okay. So I think that's a beaver. This definitely appears to be a water area. Whoop. Oop. Why is he cutscening? That boy cutscened hard. Hello, Mr. Beaver. I just wanted to talk to you. I'm a little bit nervous about what talking to you is gonna do now that I've been cutscened. Man, look at his eyes. And look at his belt. You again? You can't fool me with your green clothes? But I've never been here before. Has Macau been here? I would like an empty bottle. Did Macau come here before going to the pirate fortress to try to get an empty bottle to carry his babies in? This is definitely a beaver, but it's so weird. Like, I'm Canadian, okay? This is basically my national animal, unless you're gonna put raccoons in the game. And I can recognize it because of the teeth and the tail, but otherwise it in no way looks anything like a beaver. It looks like a chipmunk. It's fine. I'm fine. I'll give you one, but only if you can swim through all the rings in the river in under 2 minutes. Shoot, there's a swimming game. I definitely can't, but I'll try it and see how bad I am. 20 rings, and I need to follow him. Whoop. Nope. We have already had a problem. And I don't know where he is anymore. I'm not very good at the swimming controls because they are inverted. Like they're the ones where you press down to go up, flying controls. And I am super, super bad at that. Oops, I'm gonna hit that. Camera? You want to work with me here? No, no, it doesn't want to work with me here. Ow. Just go through it. Ow. Why are you so panicky all of the time? Like, it's fine when you do... No! No! None of these are buttons that I pressed. It's fine when you can get a good swim going and you get to make like light changes, but when you have to make a big change, it's actually extremely frustrating. And there's no way I'm doing this in 2 minutes. I think this one is not in water. Okay. Like, I'm not even halfway. Ugh. This is going to make me extremely unhappy. Oh, no, it's counting down. Oh, then that's actually not that bad. that might be possible if I can actually get a reasonable swim from the beginning. So there's a couple of things that are working against me here. The camera is one of them. Also, the delay on inputs is one of them. And also the fact that I'm not very good at the up-downness of this. And so, like, some of this is definitely me. You can only play with inverted. See, I don't know what it is. It's like whatever the pattern is, if I can get used to it, at the point that I get used to it, I'm pretty okay with it. But because games aren't consistent about that, the inverted controls don't follow my brain's logic. And so I have to teach myself the inverted controls every time I run into it. Like I have to start from scratch on building the skill set. Whereas I think the other controls come a little bit more naturally. I don't actually know. I thought the beaver was also our national animal. The bit about the raccoon was a joke because specifically I'm from Southern Ontario and I live in a city, which means raccoons are my national animal. Inverted in the air but not in the water. I mean, valid if that's what makes sense to you. I think for me that might make it more confusing. So I actually got through like 16 of those rings in the time. Like that seems okay, especially given exactly how trash I was at it. I'll try this a few more times. 20 rings. Go down better. Okay. This is actually the worst. It's not the worst. The swamp shooting gallery is the worst by far. But like minute adjustments, I'm not swimming as well as I did the first time. Oop. And I don't know where he's going yet, so that sucks. Oh my gosh. That's the one I missed before. That's the one I missed before. For the same reason, because the down is not getting me down effectively enough. Excuse me? Excuse me? I aimed the right way and you just didn't. You jerk. Nope. And then you missed the ring. Like, hello? I've pressed 7 buttons and you did 0. What? I didn't press the control stick at all. I pressed the button that said swim. Oh, I'm gonna have to reset because of this one ring. Like, guys, you don't even understand because I don't have a hand controller. I pressed 17 buttons and he did nothing and the camera did nothing. And I'm like, are you broken? Do I need to unplug you? Like, I pressed the same button multiple times. I'm not saying I have 17 buttons on this controller. I'm saying I was trying to do swim things. I was trying to stop my dive. I was trying to do swim things. I was trying to change my camera angle. I was trying to move me. And it responded to 0 of those things. Like, when you're diving, when you're sinking, and you press A to swim, you are supposed to, like, at least stop diving because it says surface. It didn't do that. He just kept diving. Oh, probably till about 11:45 or so. Sometime between 11:45 and 12 Eastern time is when I will stop. That's so irritating because I did pretty well for the first 10 rings. That made me mad. So there's a few things that are not great about this. One is that, Like, why doesn't he go down when I initially, like, press up? Because I'm supposed to press up to make him aim down, and he doesn't. He just goes straight for, like, the length of 2 swims before he dips. And I'm like, is that something I'm doing? I could maybe do the same. Like, I'm just trying to do a run of this wherein I don't have a cataclysmic failure. Because I think if I could just have not a cataclysmic failure, that I'd be fine for 20 rings in 2 minutes. Because I did like 16 with 3 cataclysmic failures. See? And that time that worked immediately. Why is this so inconsistent? I don't like it. I don't like the inconsistency. Or the swim mechanic. I mean, it's better now that I know I can hold and don't have to, like, push. Even that isn't something that I would call a cataclysmic failure. This is, though. Hello? Hello, how many times am I going to have to press the dive button before you dive, Zora? Okay, yes, tree branch. Yes. No? Why does the camera angle keep changing in the middle of a swim? Like, I'm not pressing any left or rights. I'm pressing A to swim, and it's changing the camera on me. Why is it changing the camera on me? I have not requested a camera change. Sure, whatever. Like, I'm supposed to be able to do this smoothly, and there's far too many things that are, like, not working. I have moments which are fine. And then something horrendous happens. Okay, so the problem is I bet this isn't the only thing that I have to do. I bet I need to, like, do this faster or better or something. And so doing it once seems pretty possible. But doing it again, if they, like, decrease the time, is gonna be awful. You've got this. Thank you for redeeming. Keep doing what you're doing, Willis. So that had that had 2 very, very slow rings in it. And so if I could do those rings smoothly, I could probably do this a little bit faster, but I don't know how to do that on purpose. This does not need C buttons. Regular controller might help. That's fair. N64 camera love? Remember Dompe. Yes, I do, actually. N64 camera punch. Mr. Beaver, I really hate to argue with you because you are my natural animal, but that was not perfect. Not remotely. Never. That's better. That was not good. That's what you could have said the first time. I was terrible at it. Either way. I am going to save state this because I finished. Yo! Both of these guys have fashion. He knows you messed up but still wants to support you. Oh, how sweet. An empty bottle? Don't worry, little brother. To us, empty bottles are a treasure. Yeah, same. I can't give you one just because you beat my little brother, but he told me I was gonna get one for beating him. Game? Shoot. I thought I was gonna get the empty bottle for that, and that I was gonna have to do it faster to get a piece of heart. But I haven't even earned the empty bottle yet, and that does not bode well. Yeah, you can just give me one. You could just give me one. You could just give me one. No! They could just give me one, but they're not going to. Cruel beavers! same rules, but 25. I don't think I can do 25. Go down further. Thank you. Now go up better. Nope. Nope. Okay. I'm trying to do like minor adjustments and it is a struggle. Wait, these rings are in slightly different places. So is the distance the same? Go down. Oh, go down. Go down, cow. Come on. No! No, I was doing so well. Oh, this stupid, stupid ring. Like the fact that I have to basically stop to reset the bloody camera because it's like not cooperating at all. That's a shame. I was doing so well. Oh boy. Nope. And then I hit that one. Okay. We're just gonna try again. That's a shame. The first 9 rings were okay. Yeah, he did. He cheated me. And now I have to do it again before I even get an empty bottle, which means if there is a piece of heart to be earned from this, I'm gonna have to do it again for that piece of heart. This is what I mean. It's like shockingly difficult to get heart pieces in this game. So, a thing I think I've learned. Let's see if I'm right. Yeah. So the issue that I was having with swimming down originally, gets mitigated if I'm pressing A before I hit the water, rather than trying to like start swimming after I hit the water. And so the swim defaults to forward. Oh, the stupid tree. The stupid wall. The stupid everything. That was a beautiful dive, but that is not related to anything I'm trying to get you to do. And see, now I'm screwed because now the camera... Sorry, that was frustrating because now the camera is moving without my input or request, just based on what it thinks it wants to do. And so it was actually getting in my way. We're starting again. Typical Beaver not being honest. So when I hit the tree the first time, this is how mistakes compound. When I hit the tree, the camera stops being behind me and it like slowly starts resetting to a more sideways position. And that's a problem because that means that the direction that I am swimming changes without my input. Like, I haven't asked it to change, but it will change. And like the precision of the movement and stuff like that. And so if you hit anything, you then just get compounded into further difficulty. And that's frustrating. But I do think that if I'm pressing A before I hit the water, that I get a better dive. He goes down much more effectively. No! I'm still not great at the 3-dimensional space. That's fine. If I could figure out... So, the problem that I foresee with the save states, if I wanted to use a save state like halfway through this, is unless I'm very careful about how... Like, I'm not pressing A in order to access the save state menu. And so it might have me come out of the save state not swimming. And I don't know if that's better. Okay, don't hit the tree. Don't hit the tree. Oh, I hate you. Okay, and you can just also not respond to any of the directional commands that I'm giving you, Mr. Zora. You could just do that if you wanted to be a jerk. Which of course you want to be. Why would you want to be nice to me? This is where I normally get wrecked. Fine. Go through! Oh no, 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 not what I like. Turn around! Turn around! Where is he? I don't actually know where he went. Where's the way out? Like, oh, is it here? No, that's the way back. Where does he go after those 3 rings? Here? Or is this the way back? Yeah, it is here. Okay, so that time I got lost. That's annoying. It's not necessarily the Beaver's fault, but it is a little bit the game's fault. Minimap does show the course, but I'm not looking at the minimap. Like, if I look at the minimap, I will smash into something. I don't have the ability to see, like, what I'm doing and where I'm going with the precision that I need, and also look at the minimap. I'll need to do it right before I leave the tunnel if I'm going to use a save state. Yeah, that's fair. There and back again. The Lady Q swimming story. You know what? It is shocking to me that the Beaver, who is wearing a ring like a flotation device, can in fact swim underwater. Yeah, that is fair. I did look at the minimap when I got lost, but based on where I was like, that actually is not helping me. I still don't know where I'm supposed to go because there were 2 directions and I hadn't been paying attention from the beginning, and so I didn't have an understanding of what way was progress. If you get lost, chaos. It's such a shame because it's like such small things that are mucking this up. And the problem is the way in which they are mucking it up is also making it harder for me to learn. Like, I'm generally not awful at learning. Go up, go up, go up, go up. No! The angle on that one I don't like. I don't like the angle on that one. And so it's making it very difficult for me to get better, in my opinion. Because probably this game does not think that this is hard. And I would beg to differ. Sure. I also don't like that when you're trying to do up and down, the second you stop pressing on the thing, like, it's not about an angle, it's actually about the input. He will swim straight ahead if you are not doing a directional input. So you really, really have to know where you're going and when. I'm gonna hit it. No! Why? That's what I mean by the camera reset. I was aiming forward and I hit it and then he was facing sideways and there was no way through the ring. Ah! Well, now you're gonna get to watch me grind it out. 25 rings feels impossible. And if this is in the pattern of the other mini games, I'm gonna have to do it again. Sure. There's certain things that I think I'm doing better at, but overall, I am not really improving. I'm just getting lucky. So this angle is a bad angle for me because of the dumb tree. Hello? When was I pressing A in any of them? Hello? Just do anything useful. Anything useful. Oh my goodness. Okay. Fine. I don't like that one. I definitely need to have a better, like, a sharper angle to the left going through that first ring there will have me tend to hit the second ring on the side, but the shallower angle had me hit the tree. And so, like, there's something in between those two angles, but I can't see because the camera's not helpful. Awful. They were playtesting, they likely thought, wow, I've never been able to do something like this before so well. That doesn't help. I mean, it helps a little bit. Because it's true, this is a significantly better swimming mechanic than anything we had in Ocarina of Time. Phyllis, thank you for the break. Thank you for redeeming non-seasonal candy and dehydrate and seasonal candy and hydrate. So let's have our break. I wanted to present this in the other order, so I will. Our seasonal candy right now is conversation beans because I couldn't find conversation hearts. I keep them in a little bag. So my non-seasonal candy is non-conversation beans because I just like Jelly Bellies and I have some. So my non-seasonal candy first. Let's go with some that I really like. So we're gonna go with the cherry and a green apple because I want to enjoy my break. And I want to not punch this beaver in his face, though that would be satisfying. This isn't worse than the sea slugs so far. That was worse because I was getting hurt whenever the swimming mechanic was frustrating. Those really are very tasty jelly beans. We breathe. I'm getting a lot better at the first ring. So the practice is letting me get good at ring 1. I do think it's been generally true that anything that requires precise camera has been annoyingly difficult in this game. And so that includes things like shooting. And it also includes swimming. So what do my conversation beans say? BFF. We have a BFF bean. What does IMY stand for, chat? I am not up on the lingo. Does Google know? Oh, it means I miss you. That's cute. So that bean misses me. So it's fine because I ate it. And Willis, finally, thank you for redeeming Hydrate for 69 channel points. Nice. I've never seen that one before. What does that tell you? It tells you my mother doesn't speak text. You know what I don't miss? These mini games. Hopefully I won't miss any of these rings. Yeah. What are you doing? What are you doing? So there's so much inconsistency. Can't miss you if it's in your digestive tract. There's so much inconsistency in how he responds to the swim button. And that's also frustrating. Because an issue that I had previously when I hit the outside of the ring and pressed the A button is he swam in the direction he was facing, which had not been the direction that I had previously been aiming, but that's okay. We allow this. He swam in the direction he was facing. And there, because of the direction he was facing, I pressed the A button to make him swim, and he turned sideways and swam. And I wasn't pressing anything on the directional stick. So what are the rules for starting a swim when I press A? Because I assumed the rules were straight ahead. But this is now the third time that I have been trying to get to a ring. I have waited for his face to be facing the direction I want, and I have pressed A, and he has gone mental. And one of those times, he swam at the camera, like right back at me, not forward where he was facing. And I am not putting directional entries on the stick, and I think that means it's broken. Sudaruto, thank you for redeeming non-seasonal candy. I will now pick up my non-conversation beans and I will eat some. You're lovely. It's great to see you this morning. I am so mad at the swimming mechanic in this game. I'm so mad I'm gonna have a bubblegum bean. I love me my bubblegum beans. We are doing the beaver side quest, and we are gonna punch these beavers in the face. So I did it the first time, and instead of giving me a bottle, like he said he would give me a bottle, he's making me do it a second time. But better. And yet I'm getting worse. Nope. Thank you. The first 10 are not supposed to be where I struggle. The first 10 are supposed to be relatively easy. Nope, that's a wall. Please don't hit the wall. And then it's when we get like here that things get frustrating. And not even because of— what? How are you going backwards? How are you going backwards, and how have you not dived when I have pressed the dive button? Okay, so this is not gonna work at all, but I want to see if I can learn more things. Keep going down, Link. I'm pressing up. I hate it. I hate it! See what I mean? It's just so weird how he swims when he gets stopped. Like, when he gets stopped by anything, it is impossible for him to get going again. Hello? Anytime you want to actually do anything, ya dumb Zora. Okay, so this is where I got super lost last time, because I was supposed to go there and then over here and then over here, and then I couldn't figure out where to go afterwards because I couldn't see. Oh, that's why I was so confused by the mini map. I'm like going up on it. Interesting. I do feel like I learned a lot, but I also still want to punch this beaver. I will bully this beaver. Garlic Grove, you cannot stop me. He's not natively an aquatic creature, and so he's out of his element. That's so good. It's like there's no walk or run, but only jump underwater. That is true. There is only jump, but the thing that still is fundamentally confusing to me is the direction of jump does not seem to be related to anything. It is just a coin flip. Will I ever get the hang of swimming? There are some things that I've learned. Like, I learned that for this dive, if you press A well before you hit the water, you actually are like diving when you come out of it. Whereas if you try to like time the A press for like when you hit the water, you swim forward before you swim down. And then that is a very difficult ring to make. And I don't know why that's true. And so I like start holding A when I start the jump, and it makes the control significantly easier. Okay, go under that, go this way. Oh, that was better than that could have been, except now I'm stuck in swim hell. Ugh! Got the second ring okay, did not exit that ring well. Swim forward, thank you. This way, and then over here and down. Down? Down? I didn't stop holding up on the control stick. Did you see him level out twice? Because I saw him level out twice. I just coin flipped my way through life. It's valid, Bree. Swimming should be relatively smooth. Is it? Not when you're me. Sure. We'll hit that. What? What? Why did he go that way? It's true. I do only need 2 buttons to swim. You are the second person who has suggested that. I am being tenacious, and I don't mean that as a compliment. Basically, my brain has gone, listen, I still haven't got the bottle yet, which means it isn't first race equals bottle, second race equals piece of heart. It is 2 races equals bottle, and I don't know how I'm supposed to get the heart piece then, because I can almost guarantee that there is a heart piece coming afterwards. Tenacious Q, yes. Defiantly tenacious. And so if I can't, using this broken controller, even succeed at task 1, I don't think I'm capable of doing task 2 by switching to a working controller. And so I'm trying to get a little bit better at swimming, just in general, so that maybe I'm gonna actually get the peace heart. Oh, that's a good point as well, Buttons, which is not a thing I'd thought of yet. If there's swimming in Great Bay Temple that I need to be good at, then that's hard to do a controller switch because I actually like need the capabilities of the N64 controller. Okay. Like, I'm just trying to test that it feels like I'm having my buttons respond in the way I'm expecting them to respond. Nope. That was not it. That was not it, but that's fine. We'll just do the stupid turnaround twice thing. Why? Why are you being so weird? Why were you being so weird? It's fine. Why did you go up? Okay. I hate this. I haven't figured out the like just go through. Just go through. Just go through. We'll work out the rest. Okay. This is the weird hello. This way, followed by... What are you doing? Why are you not going right when I press that? Left. That's the point. Ay. Sometimes he just like straight up ignores everything I'm trying to do, and it's very annoying. Nope. Nope. What is that angle? Oh, so like some of this you can tell is supposed to be a seamless flow. So those 3 rings in that one center room, really, I have successfully done it once where like when you enter the room at a good angle, you can then just do like a little whoosh motion. And for whatever reason, my controller decided it wanted me near the surface that time, and then he does not turn as effectively. And so that room was awful, but I've had that room be good. And so it tells you that there is a logic to this, that like there are angles that are supposed to work. There are ups and down changes in depth that are supposed to feel good, and I cannot find them, which is fine. I don't have a Switch N64. controller. It's true. Slight control stick adjustments can be helpful, but as I mentioned before with the shooting gallery, slight movements are hard to keep consistent. Oh, the Pro controller. Okay, fair. Because of like the way the leg impacts the dead zone when I'm using the adapter. And so I'm like, okay, that's on me for sure. And so you can see instead, like I'm doing a lot of slight adjustments that then have him leveling out. The best luck I seem to have is when I can adjust and let him level out, but that requires my having a much better understanding of three-dimensional space than I do. Yeah, it's just super awkward when I'm very used to playing these games with C buttons. Oh, I was a little bit too early that time, and that has mucked me up. Like, this feels like it shouldn't be impossible. And so it's very discouraging that it is certainly acting impossible. What? Well, that's not gonna work. Oh, tree. Okay. You know what? That's better than that could have been. Worth it. What? What? What are you doing? What are you doing? Why? I was doing okay. And then you had to go just be a drama queen, Link. That was me pressing the wrong button. That's fine. Fully understandable. That's so annoying. I don't know why getting into that room, just everything broke. But you know, that it did. This one is one of the ones with a weird go through the ring. Go through the dumb ring. You jerk. I'm just trying to get past this point to see where the next rings are, and I can't. I got there with, like, to that bit at the end, I got there with 13 seconds left last time and couldn't get past the second one. I got there with 20 seconds left this time and couldn't get past the second one. I'm like, this is so frustrating. I'm not able to learn because I can't get there consistently enough. Thank you for the lurk buttons. I'm gonna wreck these beavers. So help me. It is confusing. Like, I see it now, but it was actually initially very confusing to me that the mini-map is showing me, like, bottom to top on this course instead of top to bottom. And I don't know why that confused me as much as it did when I got lost, but boy did it ever confuse me. Then and now. Okay. What? What? I have never had trouble with that before. What were you doing, camera? Why do you keep sending him up? I'm not pressing these things the way you think I'm pressing these things. You silly controller. Which is fine. Oh, maybe he hit. Oh, if he hits the ground, he does a belly flop. Interesting. I wonder how many times I've hit the ground and not realized that that's why he's behaving erratically. Why? 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 Yeah. Why? He did the start swim again. Like, yes, I did notice that anytime I bonk, it completely wrecks my ability to do anything because he will change trajectory, but it's not consistent. So I don't know if you had come in yet when I was mentioning it, but he's super inconsistent about how he restarts his swim after bonking, because I think, or at least the only logical way I can figure it, is he's supposed to restart in the direction he's facing, and he doesn't. Okay, so maybe there's like a button input problem and it thinks I'm not actually pressing A sometimes, when I can assure you I am holding A quite firmly. But like sometimes he'll start, this is fine, because like, wow, that was a very sharp turn that I can't always make. So both of those times, oh, that was bad, I bonked. Both of those times when he restarted, he just went straight ahead, right? Which is what I want him to do. But that time, if he did, oh, I hate it. Okay. I'm gonna be honest, we're gonna follow the dumb beaver, because I just need to see where he's putting these rings. Like, I don't have time to go back and fix, like, I know this isn't gonna count, but I don't know what goes on at the end of the course. I've never seen it. Sure. Okay, so that angle didn't fail. Up, down. Okay. So both of those pairs of rings are actually kind of tricky, so it sucks that that's right at the end. So, when he bonks, and I am still pressing the swim button, because I don't stop pressing the swim button, that gets him swimming faster. He will start, or he should start swimming in the direction he's facing unless I do something with my control stick. And the number of times that he has done something so illogical as to be confusing is like upsetting to me. Because there was once where, again, no directional stick, just holding A, he's facing away from me and he turns around and swims at camera. There was once when he was facing this way and he swam that way and hit the wall again. And I was like, why? I'm not putting directional entries in. I'm just pressing A. Why are you doing that? And that makes me worry that my controller's just broken and that I'm never going to be able to finish this game. Because, like, why is it doing that? I don't think it should be doing that. And that's just making it more difficult, because if there is actually a controller issue that I'm struggling with, I need to be better at swimming in order to know what it is, you know? What? No. My angle was a little bit different on that, and I wanted to know what was going to happen. It wasn't good. Link, Link, sir, Link, please, please, Link. It does help to have learned that off of the floor, he like does that weird, like dolphin bounce almost. Nope. How many times do I have to press B before you actually dive? Why are you diving again when I didn't ask you to? I'm confused. Why do you not listen to my buttons? Oh my gosh. Go down. Now go up. Whatever. Up. Good enough. We actually got them. Oh, but I was too high coming into... See, that's a bit of an example. I didn't understand the direction he had changed after bonking on the ring, and I thought he was still facing on more of a diagonal than he was. But I think that's my perception. I don't think that's the game being broken, but sometimes I think it's the game being broken. Like, I do feel like I've learned a lot of important things about swimming in this. No. So, like, things are going wrong so early, and I'm like, that's not recoverable. It's like when you start on, like, Mario Kart Rainbow Road or something. It's like when you start being slightly off center, and then there's no way to just correct it. There is only overcorrection, and that's a problem. If I were more familiar with the way he bounces off the floor, I might be able to use that to my advantage. What? What? What did you just do, sir? Why does it feel like I'm on a wireless controller that's being, like, interrupted? Is my cord broken? And why does it only affect me when I'm trying to swim? Or shoot? I don't like the way the visibility gets impacted when you re-enter the water after doing one of those little dolphin dives. Oh, please, 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 please. Please stop doing that. Sure. I will take it. That could have been much worse. Any form of interruption just makes this so difficult. Okay. I will take that too. No! Okay, that I understand better. For some reason, my left-right is not precisely left and right. It is like... also got some up-down. Come on. Come on. Come on. Down. Up. Down. Please? Important things Lady Q has learned about swimming. Hold your breath. Don't let water up your nose. Wear goggles where possible. These are all great things to learn about swimming. So, Pseudo-Rudo, what do you mean by swimming forward slowly? Because, like, actually, this is a real question, truly honest, and please don't think I'm stupid. Thus far, when I have been underwater without pressing the A button, the directional stick does nothing to my Zora. I have to, in order to change direction, I have to either be pressing A or be on the ground. He doesn't slow swim. He never has. That was my biggest frustration with the sea snakes, is that I was trying to just press the directional stick, like just go a little bit, left or right, and he was not doing it. And so I got the impression that that isn't how a Zora swims. And from that suggestion, I go, is a Zora supposed to actually, like, swim if I'm not pressing A? Because he wasn't doing that in the sea snake lair, and he wasn't doing that here. Because pressing left or right wasn't even making him change his facial direction. I had to, that's why what you saw was me diving to the bottom to land on the ground to turn him around. Because that was the only way that was working. He wasn't changing even the direction he was facing on my left rights. It feels very wrong to me. So I did succeed at the second dumb beaver race. Hold on. We're gonna save. But I'm thinking I might need to go somewhere and actually, like, seriously practice swimming without there being a race to figure out why it's not doing what I think it should do. And there's not a lot of safe places to just swim. Okay. Is there still a beaver here? Maybe I don't have to do it again. Maybe I don't have to do it again. Okay. So. What? Maybe that is... Oh, okay. Okay. So he does do that when he's surfacing, but he does not do that when he's diving. And so that might make sense, because often I'm too high for the ring. Well, I did both races and I have a bottle. But my walkthrough is telling me that I can get a heart piece, and the problem is it's not very good at giving a distinction between N64 and 3DS when it says things like that. Can I get a heart piece if I do it again? I did get the bottle though. That's nice. Right. I would love to talk to them again. I didn't see them here, and so maybe I have to like leave the area and reset. So, oh, that's interesting. That was a very long delay. That might be a controller thing. When I press surface, okay, so if I lift it. Okay. Okay. So those are interesting things to know as well. So right now I'm on the ground. If I press surface, let go, and then press swim, this is what happens. That's almost immediate, see? But if I press and hold surface, he will start swimming, but it's a much longer delay. And so that was something as well, that there's a precision difference there. And he only swims left and right when he's going up. And then you could actually make him swim forward and back as well. That's good to know. He does not respond to any directional input when he is in dive mode. He just dives until you tell him to stop diving. And so that would have helped me to know that what I was actually trying to do when I was trying to stop him mid-dive, I needed to double press A instead of single pressing A. That would have helped. So where is the Beaver Dam? Like, do I have to go all the way to the end of this course to try to find the beavers again? It did just reset me into the area. Oh, nope, there they are. Hello, friends. This is what the little white dots on the minimap are good for. Okay, so I succeeded once. I don't want to do this again. But I do want to talk to them. Hey. He's back. Yeah, he's back. But we don't have any more empty bottles. No, we don't have any. If, say, you still want to race, that's fine. What will you do? That doesn't... The fact that I still have an option to race is interesting. Do I want to start screaming again incoherently at my monitor a little bit? Is anything that I learned going to help me? So they have changed the time limit though. That's interesting. And I still have to do 2 races. Interesting. Oh, that's also interesting. So the course is the same regardless, which I had noticed before. It's just the number of rings I have to go through is less, and therefore there's more flexibility about like how I complete it. Whew. Not ideal. Not ideal. down. And the ups and downs are less dramatic on this one. I hadn't really noticed that. Whoa, no, 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 no. Why did you do that? Why did you do that, stupid Link? So that works really well if I come out of it in like a full dive. Ugh. Okay, that counted as through the ring. That's not what I saw visually, but that's fine. The last 2 rings. Oh, come on, please Link, please Link. Thank you. That's a great question, Willis. The real question is, if I succeed at this and then end stream, will I be happy? Do you know what I'll be happy about, Willis? If I don't have to do this next stream. They do have a piece of heart if you race them on the same 3-day cycle after getting a bottle, so I definitely have to do this before I reset. Beat the Beaver! Okay, we're making a suspend point. Because I did it. And that one, see, that's how much I improved. Because the first race, I struggled. And then the second race, I struggled really, really hard. And this time they put me back in the first race and I just did it on the first try. And I noticed a lot of things about where the rings were. Like the ones that are down, even that first dive, it's not as low in the water. I don't have to go down as far. And so I don't have to come up as far. And like, there's so many different things. Hi, I like daisies. What up, Willis? Thank you very much for redeeming Pop-Up Bun, Lady Kiwi Whack, which is what I'm going to do to these silly, silly beavers. Yes. I am, in fact, going to hit these beavers with a hammer. It doesn't matter that I don't have one. Surprise stream! Yay! And just a reminder to everybody who's here, because there's more of you here now than there were at the beginning, next week, even though I usually stream Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, I have to move my stream because next Wednesday is Valentine's Day. So I'm actually going to be streaming Monday morning, this upcoming Monday morning at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. So same time as today on Monday. And then the rest of the week, I'm going to be taking off, and I should be back to Wednesdays the following week, which I know is a bit of a break, but it's why I'm so excited to be able to do this one. Valentine's Day! That's shameful. Okay, so this is where I want the suspend point. So let's see how enraged I get on this one. I am just going to try it straight and see if I learned anything. Because the thing is, when I succeeded, this is what I noticed. I had 2 minutes last time for each race, and now I only have 1:50. But when I beat it, I had 20 seconds left on the clock, which means if I do this right, I have already beat it within the requisite amount of time. And I did it on this mess. And so that's good to know. That makes this possible. But so much stuff was just luck that I'm a little bit worried. And so, depending on how this first run goes, I will either try it again or I will hunt down a controller that is not this controller. Lady Speedrunner. Because I still don't think, like, it's a bit sad, but I'm not confident that save states will help me. That was quite the jump, Mr. Zora. Does the skill hold? Probably not. Yeah, that's fine. Fine. That wasn't so bad for the first chunk. Don't like the angle that I'm at right now. Oh boy. Oops. That isn't quite what I wanted. Ow. Go up! Please. Go up, you silly, silly goose. Come on! No, 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 no! No, 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 no! No, 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 no! Oh. The obstacle that is that ring. This is fine. Oh boy! Okay, so the learning did take. That's not bad. Second try. Oh wow, that seems incredibly difficult. I'm just gonna save in the middle of this dialogue because I don't want to do the swimming ever again. Sudorudo, thank you very much for redeeming seasonal candy. I have earned myself a treat. I have used this hour of rage to earn myself a wee little bit of a snack. Gosh, I'm really glad that I did this and didn't like leave it till Monday again, because I do think it's important that I had done it very close together. So what have we got? We've got sweet, which it is. It is a conversation bean. And we've got XOXO. I like that those both felt like successful conversation beans. Yeah, I want to quit, Big Brother. Listen, you and me both, Mr. Beaver. Please let it be over. Yes, please let it be over. That was ridiculous. So then, Beavis, thank you for redeeming Hydrate for 69 channel points. Nice. That Beaver's just right, man. What a mood. Please, please go away and don't do this anymore. Okay, Mr. Beaver, I won't. Okay, I want to be able to see while I do this. I need to be swimming. How do I... This is like a whirlpool? It's drawing me towards the center. Oh, no, no, no. No, no, no. No, no, no. Not what I wanted at all. I want to target the Lake first. Please to target Lake. So that I can move away from it. Will it die to boomerangs or will it just get stunned? What's the second button I have to press in order to walk with my shield? Well, I got that. Because I can't use a lot of my weaponry underwater. I have this, punches and kicks, which are like super not helpful against a like that wants to eat me. R plus Z. Oh, interesting. So he definitely took damage. And he doesn't like that. Haha! Wait, that's another piece of heart? I thought he was on top of something. Okay. Is that all that's down here? Well... silly little bones fish. He was a piece of heart. Just get out? Are you gonna give me magic? Please give me some magic. Thank you. Thank you for that some bit of magic. Okay. I am really hopeful that I have exhausted this corner. What? Epona has similar issues than this, like the swimming did for me, where sometimes the direction input that I give causes a response that makes no sense to me. Okay. So, this game also exists. That's what I'm thinking. And it's definitely a destroy pots with boomerangs game. I don't know how good I'm gonna be at it. But I beat the beavers. We did. Buttons, we not only beat the beavers once, we beat them twice. In the time that you were lurking, I beat 3 races. Which was absolutely insane. If the Zora went deep enough, could they survive getting mooned? Depends on how, like, hefty the planet that contains Termina is, I think. Because if Termina is on a relatively small planet, like King Kai's planet, for example, in Dragon Ball. Listen, Buttons, I'm at the point where I think you leaving to interact with water made me better at interacting with water. And so, like, I'm just in full superstition mode. So basically, if Termina is on a planet that is about the size of like King Kai's planet, for example, I don't think that there is a deep enough to avoid impact from a moon. But we assume Termina is like bigger than that, and it's just about how high up do you need the planet to scale before the impact of a moon of that size doesn't shake it right down to like its depths. Because science fact, which is somewhat interesting, is like at scale, the Earth, if you shrunk it down to the size of a pool ball, like a white cue ball, for example, would feel just like that to us, despite the Marianas Trench, despite Mount Everest, despite all these things that we know are great heights and depths. You wouldn't be able to notice that at scale. And so that's why I think the impact would still like affect even deep underwater, because it's not about getting hit with the moon. It's about what the moon does to the planet after the impact. Hence the dinosaurs, you know, that kind of scientific theory and stuff like that. Like, what would happen if we got hit with a large enough asteroid, and how big is that moon in comparison to Termina, are questions that we don't really have answers for because the game doesn't care. It's crazy. I also love science, Harley Quinn. I'm so glad. So, like, I don't know. It's very interesting to me to think about. I think that the Zoras would still be doomed because I haven't seen a space that's deep enough. The Earth is a giant ravioli and we're only on the crust. That is correct. Ravioli, too, is molten on the inside if it's fresh cooked. None of that is important. What's important, chat, is that we beat the Beavers 4 times, in fact. So we have absolutely wrecked my national animal, and we are never going back there. And also we killed a like and found a piece of heart, which was cool. I just wanted to kill the like because I saw it and was like, that's a weird spot for a like. So I kind of assumed it was guarding something, and it was, just not in the way I thought. There's a cutscene that plays if you let the moon crash into Termina. We might have to watch that at some point. We can make as many s'mores as we want. That is true. So yeah, we've done the races, and I'm actually pretty proud of myself for that, because that was hard and it was annoying and it was frustrating, and it probably would have been a lot easier if I'd switched to a controller that was directly connected instead of one through an adapter. But I did eventually succeed, and I think I'm just going to steal Button's idea for that and say that gives me hope that Great Bay Temple is going to be possible instead of sucking or requiring that I switch controllers for. So that was really interesting, but I think it helped me most that in between the first 2 races and the second 2 races, I actually did some testing on button pressing just in the water. Because I tried swimming before, and I like had learned that it was inverted controls, so you press down to go up and up to go down, but like I couldn't figure out why he wasn't moving sometimes and why he was moving sometimes and why he was facing in weird directions and all sorts of things, and so that helped me a lot actually to kind of understand recovery from bonks a little bit better. So definitely learn how to swim first. Don't try to learn how to swim via the Beaver races. That's not recommended. Oh my goodness, OOT and Majora's Mask randomized, including entrances and exits. That sounds super difficult. I don't think I'm good enough at either game to make any sense of that. Yes, Frye, the word of the stream. Pronounced, thankfully, according to Buttons. Fry as in fry, like French fry, and yay as in yay. Buttons gave this helpful pronunciation guide, just to make sure that Willis's word of the stream was easy to pronounce for everybody who might be joining us today. Anyways, so now that I've succeeded at those races, I am significantly happier about the exploration that we're going to be doing on Monday. I will be streaming Monday morning at 9:30 a.m. Eastern time again, in place of my usual Wednesday stream. So I will not be streaming Wednesday next week. I will be streaming Monday morning, and then I'll be back the following Wednesday, February 22nd at my usual 7 p.m. So I think that's what my schedule on Twitch says. That's definitely like what my Discord says. So hopefully it makes sense. So helpful. The most helpful. It was beautiful. And we get to start with things that I actually like, because I think we're probably going to do a little bit more exploring. We're on the final day right now, but there's probably a few things that I can still do. I'm trying to find a pool of water somewhere, and I want to know what's going on with this guy's boomerang game. That's about what I know about, but I'll double check my walkthrough like titles to see if there's anything else I should be looking for at this point. And then what I'm going to do is reset the cycle and do the skull to the house on day 1. And see if I can get whatever prize comes out of that, because apparently in the N64 version you can only earn what you earn from the Skulltula house if you complete it in the first day-night part of like a fairly fresh day-night cycle. So we may be doing that. Hopefully we'll have enough time to do a little bit of meandering and then to do that. And I don't know if there's going to be much left before I do Great Bay Temple at that point. Like, that's kind of what I'm thinking, is I'm going to do a little bit of wandering with this last part of the cycle, reset the cycle, do the spider house. Depending on whether or not there's anything I have left uncompleted, I might do some of that, but then I'm going to reset the cycle again, fly out to see the giant turtle, probably make Lulu sing to him again. I don't know if he'll survive like a cycle change, but I think I just have to play a song for Lulu, hookshot a turtle, and then start Great Bay Temple. So I'm hoping to be able to start Great Bay Temple on Monday. I probably won't get very far, and then definitely the bulk of Great Bay Temple will be on Wednesday the 22nd. So that's what's up and coming. Thank y'all for being willing to flex with my changes of schedule over the next couple of weeks. Hello, Booze Merry-Go-Round. Lovely to see you. And thank y'all for being here. Believe it or not, despite my absolute rage at the swimming, because rage, it is still a fun game. Like, I assure you, it is still a very interesting game to explore and to try. It just is frustrating, some of the mini games sometimes and some of the things you have to do. It's so much harder to collect peace hearts in Majora's Mask than it was in Ocarina of Time. But that's okay. I'm going to drop a raid message in chat. You can copy it if you want. You can come with us on the raid if you want. Fully up to you. I am not going to try to tell you what to do, but it would be super awesome if you could come visit a friend on a lovely raid with us. We're going to raid Camixiel, who's playing some DLC in Pokemon Scarlet/Violet. I don't know which of the games she's playing, but she's doing some DLC content in those games, and Pokemon is always fun. I like Nintendo, and I also like Kemi. She's a great streamer and a great composer, and just all around good times. So we're going to jump over there on a raid. I rarely get to raid her because usually I am not streaming at this time. So it's been a while, and we're going to go have some fun over there. And I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Thanks for coming and hanging out with me for a bit. It was great to see you on this happy Friday morning. Kemi is good, people, Celadon Beavis, and so are you. Don't you forget that. So I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your Friday and that you have a great weekend, and maybe I'll see some of y'all on Monday. But until then, lies and deceit. Keep it cute. See you next time.